so we're working first day with Mr. Jake here, and Jake has some serious some serious reactivity issues to where just the sight of a dog he wants to act aggressive. And so what we're working on is our step back recall. Now what the step back recall is when dogs are stressed, they've only got three options available to them. They've got fight, they've got flight, and they've got avoidance. And so right now he's in avoidance, but a second ago he was choosing the fight response. I'm going to glare at you, I'm going to growl at you, I'm going to be aggressive. And so we don't want the fight response. And so what we need to do is we need to teach him to focus on something that's valuable, that's constructive rather than destructive. And so the issue that we run into with dogs that are reactive or aggressive is that it's an entirely new skill set for them to learn how to say, okay, I'm focused on you, and that's not good, I need to focus somewhere else. He's never going to learn that on his own. And so what I see a lot of people try to do is they try to step in front of their dog, kind of instinctively knowing, hey, I need to get the dog's focus on me, and it's a good instinct, but the problem is they're being too proactive. In them being too proactive, what happens is the dog doesn't have to learn, the dog doesn't have to think. They're just simply stepping in front of the dog. And most dogs just figure out how to push past and push around anyways, and so that doesn't work. And so what we're doing, like I said, is something we call step back recall, where we teach the dog that when you start to kind of amp up, when you start to get into this chaotic mindset, I'm back here. Now we're doing e-collar training. We're doing actually incredibly low level. We're on 20 on a dog try, which is, if you've ever felt that, you know that that's almost nothing. In fact, about 50% of people can't even feel it. And so the idea is not to hurt him or cause pain or any pain at all. The idea is to communicate with him. So like I say, as he's over here and I start to see him, I call it the aggression snowball. As his aggression snowball starts to go up, I simply step back, I give him one free command. So I'm giving him a shot to do it on his own here. And if he doesn't come, on the second one I'm starting to use a little bit of stimulation. Now, excuse me. I'm not using a lot of leash, because if I use a lot of leash, then what happens is, if you've ever been in that situation with a reactive dog and you start pulling them around, it's almost like they get more aggressive. And so what we need to do is just this very light stimulation. My body language pulls him back, and so we're teaching him another way to kind of reconcile with the stress that he's feeling. Come on, come on. And then so there, you see now he's defaulting into paying attention to me. And then he's going into avoidance, so he's no dummy. He knows that the dogs are 4 feet away. But instead of showing aggression, a few corrections in, he's starting to recognize, okay, I can't do that anymore. Come on. And so we're going to make it a little bit tougher on him. We're going to have him sit right here. Like I said, there's a little bit of stress. And if I start to see something that makes me a little uncomfortable, I'm going to pop back real quick, give him the recall command, and then correct if necessary. But he's starting to show, his body language. He's interested now. His body language is relaxing a little bit. Here, here, here. And so like I said, I'm even going to go down a little bit lower because that caught him off guard, and that was a little bit too much of a correction, even though it was very light. Come on, come on. It was a very light correction. Sit. It was a little bit too much for him. So I'll go down just a little bit. Because like I say, all we're trying to do here is really communicate with him. Not necessarily correct, but simply help him understand that when you feel this stress, I'm a much better option. Paying attention to me, focusing on me is a much better option. And you can start to see that he floats in and out of avoidance, looking away, and focus on me, starting to realize, this is just our first day, but starting to realize, hey, this guy has solutions for me. Like I say, dogs are not reading Tony Robbins. They never come up with solutions on their own and say, hey, boy, I'm sure, here, here, here. So there he started to growl. You may or may not have heard that, but as he started to growl, I stepped back. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sit. Good boy. Step back, use just a little bit of stimulation. That time I was a little bit lower. You notice it just kind of got his attention. Good boy. And everything's back to calm. He's got this crazy energy when he meets other dogs, and so we have to meet his crazy energy with calm energy. Now, we're making it tough for him. There's 12 dogs back here, 15 dogs, something like that. And so we're making it tough for him. Here, here. So there he started growling, so I did the step back recall again. And so what happens with this, what tends to happen with this, is dogs learn to self-correct. And what I mean by that is they start to sense themselves. If I'm good and I'm consistent, and every time he goes into this state of mind, let's say his chaos level gets up to here, and and every time his chaos level gets up to there, I'm stepping back and correcting him. What he'll start to realize is as he starts, as he starts to ramp up, oh boy, he'll self-correct and realize, uh-oh, here. He'll start to self-correct and realize, hey, I've done this before. Hey, come on. And that the way I solved this before is by paying attention to my owner. So like I say, come on, buddy, come on. We'll see a lot of dogs learn to self-regulate, self-correct. Here. And so now I've got to get my thresholds longer because his chaos level's starting to go up. And that's fine. I'm just going to work at whatever threshold he can do. Come on. Sit. What I'm going to do is let him just kind of come down. And then once he's done that, then I'm just going to take him and put him away for a little bit. I want him to kind of end on a positive note. And so what we're doing, though, is we're teaching him how to understand the correction, how to pay attention, and how to shut it off. And so like I say, here in one session, this is a dog that started, wanting to lunge at everything just earlier today, that now, his threshold is still 4 to 6 feet, but he's starting to realize how he can just relax. So this is our step back recall, and this is a big part of the foundation of what we do to work on aggression.